You feel every small disagreement like a personal earthquake. Her bad mood becomes your storm to weather, and your own emotions seem to control you more than you control them. This constant state of reactivity is exhausting, leaving you feeling anything but solid. But what if you could build a foundation so strong that no emotional tremor could shake you? The ancient philosophy of Stoicism offers exactly that transformation, turning you into an unshakable rock in your relationship. By the end of this, you will have a practical guide of 25 powerful Stoic principles to cultivate an inner strength and emotional resilience that makes you a stable, reliable partner. We will uncover how to see every obstacle as a hidden advantage and learn why true power lies not in controlling others, but in mastering your own judgments. What single quality do you believe is the true mark of an unshakable man? Your emotional stability begins with a single, profound distinction. It is the principle that separates what you command from what you must accept. This is the dichotomy of control, the bedrock of Stoic wisdom. At its heart is a simple but life-altering idea. Some things are within our power and other things are not. Your own thoughts, your judgments, your desires, and your actions, these are your domain. They are your internal citadel. Everything else, from another person's mood to the events of the world, is outside its walls. Think about that in the context of your relationship. You cannot control her feelings on a given day. You cannot force her to be in a good mood or to see things your way. These are external events as changeable as the weather, but you can absolutely control your own response. You can control the effort you put into understanding her. You can control your integrity and the kindness in your words. When she is upset, the Stoic does not try to command the storm to cease. Instead, he focuses on being the steady anchor. He asks himself not, how can I change her mood, but how can I act with virtue right now? Your power lies not in controlling the sea around you, but in mastering your own ship. This is the source of true, unshakable strength. It is the first and most vital step to becoming the rock in her life. This active embrace of reality transforms the very ground you stand on. Amor fati, the love of fate, is the principle that asks you to not merely tolerate the difficult moments in your relationship, but to welcome them as necessary. It is not passive resignation, a quiet sigh of surrender to a difficult partner or a string of bad luck. It is a dynamic, powerful acceptance that says, this too is for my benefit. Think of an argument not as a failure, but as a forge. It is an intense heat that tests the strength of your character and the clarity of your communication. When you face distance, you can see it not as a threat, but as a chance to build a new and deeper kind of closeness, one rooted in trust and independence. Even the pain of a breakup, a fate many fear above all else, can be met with this profound love. It is the fire that burns away illusion, forcing a growth that comfort could never provide. When you adopt this mindset, you shed the skin of the victim. You stop seeing yourself as a man to whom life happens, and you start becoming the man for whom everything, especially the hard things, is fuel. This is the resilience that does not crumble. It is the strength of a rock that has been shaped by every storm, not in spite of them, but because of them. This profound acceptance of all things leads to a startling question. How would you act today if you knew it was your last? The Stoics called this memento mori, a reminder of our mortality. It sounds dark, even morbid, but in practice it is one of the most liberating principles you can adopt. It is not about fearing the end, but about being electrified into fully living the time you have. When you truly internalize that your life and your relationship is finite, a powerful shift occurs. That minor annoyance, the small grievance you were holding onto, suddenly loses all its weight. Why waste a single precious moment on irritation when you could be choosing connection instead? Remembering that you will die and that she will too strips away the habit of taking her for granted. You stop seeing her presence as a given and start appreciating it as a daily gift. You listen more intently, you notice the small things, and your patience grows because you understand the sheer insignificance of most things you argue about. This awareness injects a profound urgency into your actions. It forces you to ask, am I being the partner I want to be right now? Am I showing up with the integrity, kindness, and strength that defines the man I aspire to be? There is no room for procrastination on your own character. This is not a sad thought. It is a clarion call to live and love with immense purpose, and that focused, present, and deeply appreciative energy is not just stable. It is irresistibly attractive. That powerful awareness of life's fragility reveals a hidden path through every challenge you face. There is a Stoic principle that takes the idea of loving your fate one step further into active, powerful engagement. The obstacle is the way. This is the art of turning every trial into your triumph, of seeing a path forward precisely where others see an immovable wall. In your relationship, this is the shift from being a man who is defeated by problems to the man who is energized by them. Consider a disagreement. Most people see it as a failure, a crack in the foundation. It creates frustration and a desire to win, but the Stoic sees it as the way. It is the necessary chance to practice the art of clear communication, to listen not to rebut but to truly understand. The obstacle of conflict becomes the very path to a deeper, more honest connection. Or imagine she tells you she needs some space. The immediate reactive fear might be one of rejection, a signal that something is wrong. This is the wall, but the principle shows you the gate. Her need for space is your opportunity to cultivate your own independence, to rediscover the hobbies and friendships that make you a more complete and interesting person. It is the chance to demonstrate trust and security, to show that your stability is not dependent on her constant presence. This reframing is a superpower. A financial setback becomes a lesson in creativity and resourcefulness. A moment of her doubt becomes your moment to practice unwavering support. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And you start asking, what is this trying to teach me, and how can I use it to become stronger? The obstacle is not in your way, it is the way. You become the problem solver, the calm in the chaos, the man who does not just endure difficulty but is forged by it. This path of turning obstacles into advantages requires a compass for your actions. Living according to nature is that guiding star, the ultimate principle that defines what it truly means to be a rock in her life. For the Stoics, living according to nature did not mean retreating to the wilderness. It meant living in alignment with your highest self, your rational and social nature. It is the daily practice of virtue, the unwavering commitment to being a good man regardless of circumstance. This is broken down into 4 cardinal virtues that form your unshakable character. The first is wisdom, the ability to see the world clearly and make sound judgments. This is the virtue that stops you from jumping to conclusions when she is quiet, allowing you to seek understanding instead of assuming the worst. The second is courage, which is not the absence of fear, but the strength to act rightly in spite of it. This is the courage to have that difficult conversation you have been avoiding, to be vulnerable and speak your truth, not with aggression, but with a calm and steady heart. The third is justice, which extends far beyond the courtroom. In your relationship, justice means treating her with fundamental fairness, respect, and kindness. It is about fulfilling your duties as a partner, considering her needs as equal to your own, and building a relationship on a foundation of mutual goodwill. And the fourth is temperance, the master of self-regulation. This is the virtue that prevents needless drama. It is the discipline to pause before reacting in anger, to moderate your own desires, and to avoid the emotional excesses that create chaos. When you embody these 4 virtues, you are no longer a man blown about by the winds of your own passions or the moods of the day. You become predictable in the best possible way, predictably wise, predictably courageous, predictably just, and predictably temperate. That is the kind of rock she can build a life upon. This distinction between what is yours to command and what is not becomes your greatest practical tool in the flow of daily life. Let us take that bedrock principle, the dichotomy of control, and see how it works in the quiet moments that truly define your relationship. She comes home from work, her shoulders tight with stress, her mood clearly clouded. The automatic, reactive response is to feel that tension yourself, to become anxious, to immediately start asking questions or offering solutions in an attempt to fix the weather inside her. But here is where you apply your Stoic training. You recognize a fundamental truth. Her stress, her mood, her reaction to her day, these are external events. They are outside the walls of your citadel. You cannot control them. Trying to do so is like trying to command the rain to stop falling. It is a futile effort that only drains your own energy and often amplifies the very tension you wish to dissolve. So what is within your power in this exact moment? Your judgment of the situation is yours. You can choose not to see her stress as a personal attack or a problem you must instantly solve. Your actions are yours. You can control offering a simple, calm presence. You can choose to say, "It sounds like you had a tough day. I am here if you want to talk about it," and then genuinely listen without the pressure to provide an answer. Or you can control giving her the space she might genuinely need, perhaps by quietly making a cup of tea for her, or simply allowing the silence to be comfortable rather than anxious. This is the shift from being a reactive partner to becoming a calm anchor. You stop absorbing her negative energy because you understand it is not yours to carry. You provide a space of stability where her storm can safely pass, rather than trying to fight the storm itself. This is not indifference. It is the most powerful form of support, rooted in the unshakable knowledge of where your responsibility truly begins and ends. Her stress is not your command, but your response is your masterpiece. This is where amor fati deepens from a concept into a daily practice within your relationship. It is the conscious decision to look at a struggle, any struggle, and not just accept it, but to actively search for the hidden good woven into its fabric. A period of long distance can feel like a test of endurance, a void of loneliness. The easy story is one of absence and hardship, but the Stoic crafts a different narrative. He sees the distance not as a barrier to intimacy, but as the very thing that will forge a new, more resilient kind of closeness. It becomes the training ground for trust, where your confidence in the bond is proven not by constant proximity, but by unwavering faith. It forces both of you to cultivate your own independence, to remember the individuals you are outside the partnership. When you reunite, you do not just return to the same relationship. You bring back two stronger, more complete people, enriching what you share. This reframing transforms the entire experience from a trial to be endured into an investment in your collective strength. The same principle applies to a financial struggle. The pressure of limited resources can easily breed blame and tension, turning partners into adversaries. But what if you saw it as your team's most important project? This obstacle becomes the way to build unparalleled teamwork. It demands creative problem solving, open communication about needs and wants, and a shared commitment to a common goal. You learn to rely on each other's strengths in new ways, discovering a resilience you never knew you had. When you come through it, you do not just have a better bank account. You have a battle-tested partnership, a profound knowledge that you can face anything together. This mindset shift is your shield against resentment. Resentment grows in the soil of a victim's story, the belief that life is happening to you. Amor fati replants you as the hero of your own story, where every challenge is a necessary chapter in your growth. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to us?" and start declaring, "This is happening for us." You become the source of stability and optimism, not by pretending things are easy, but by demonstrating through your calm and purposeful action that even the difficult things are building a better future. That profound awareness of your own mortality becomes the most powerful fuel for connection. When you truly hold the thought that your time together is limited, you stop saving your best self for a special occasion. You start living it now. This is memento mori in action, transforming your daily interactions from routine into something rich and meaningful. You begin expressing appreciation not just when you feel overwhelmingly grateful, but as a regular practice. You notice the small things, the way she laughs or how she organizes the bookshelf, and you voice that appreciation. It is no longer a grand gesture saved for an anniversary, but a steady stream of acknowledgement that says, "I see you and I am grateful for you today." This consistent expression of value builds a foundation of security and warmth that can weather any storm. Your presence becomes your greatest gift. On a date, the phone stays in your pocket. You are not just physically there, you are mentally and emotionally there, listening to the nuances in her voice, noticing the light in her eyes, fully engaged in the shared experience. You are not thinking about a work email or scrolling through a social media feed. You are giving her the one resource that is truly finite, your undivided attention. And when the inevitable small disagreements arise, you let the petty grudges go. You ask yourself a simple, powerful question. Is this minor annoyance worth a single moment of our precious, limited time? The answer is almost always a resounding no. You learn to release the need to be right, to win the small argument, because you are focused on winning the bigger game, a life of shared peace and deep connection. This is how memento mori stops being a somber thought and starts being a relationship superpower. It injects a beautiful urgency into your love, making every conversation a little more honest, every touch a little more significant, and your shared life infinitely more vibrant. Jealousy feels like a poison in your blood, a sudden heat that clouds your judgment and tightens your chest. You see her laugh with a coworker, or an old message pops up on her phone, and a wave of insecurity crashes over you. The reactive man sees this jealousy as a sign of deep love or a personal failing. He either tries to bury the feeling in silence where it festers, or he lashes out with accusations, creating the very distance he fears. But the Stoic sees this same emotion through a completely different lens. He sees jealousy not as a verdict on his character, but as an obstacle placed directly in his path. And as we have learned, the obstacle is the way. This painful feeling is not a wall, it is a gateway, and it leads to 3 profound opportunities for growth. The first path it opens is the one toward unshakable self-confidence. Your jealousy is a flashing red light pointing directly at an internal insecurity you have not yet addressed. Perhaps it is a doubt about your own worth or a fear that you are not enough. The obstacle of jealousy forces you to turn inward and ask the hard questions. What specific quality am I feeling insecure about? Is it my career, my physique, my social skills? This is not a moment for self-flagellation. It is a moment for honest self-assessment and decisive action. Use that jealous energy as fuel to invest in yourself. Go to the gym not out of punishment, but as a commitment to your own strength. Read that book on a skill you have been neglecting. Pour your energy into becoming the man you know you can be for your own sake. Your value ceases to be something she gives you and becomes something you build and own yourself. The second path jealousy reveals is the necessity of open communication. That tightness in your chest is a signal that something needs to be expressed, but not with blame or suspicion. The way forward is through a calm, vulnerable conversation. This requires immense courage. You must approach her and say, "I felt a pang of jealousy when I saw that, and I know that is my issue to work on. But I want to be open with you about it because I value our trust above all else." By framing it as your own feeling to manage, you take full ownership. You are not accusing her of wrongdoing. You are inviting her into your process of growth. This act of radical honesty does not push her away. It builds a fortress of trust between you. It demonstrates that you are a man who can handle his own difficult emotions with maturity, a man who chooses connection over control. Finally, that jealousy is the path to strengthening the very trust you fear losing. Every time you feel the urge to check her phone or interrogate her about her day, and you consciously choose not to, you are performing a rep in the gym of your character. You are actively building the muscle of trust. You are proving to yourself that your peace does not depend on her every action, that your stability is an internal condition. When you transform jealousy from a monster under the bed into a personal trainer for your character, you achieve a new level of power. The feeling may still arise, but it no longer controls you. It becomes a signal, a reminder to walk one of those three paths toward becoming a more confident, communicative, and trusting partner. You have taken a corrosive weakness and alchemized it into a core component of your strength. That jealous heat we just explored has a single, powerful antidote. It is the master virtue of self-control, Stoic temperance. This is not merely about refusing a second drink or skipping dessert, though that discipline is part of it. True Stoic temperance is the complete governance of your inner world. It is the decision to no longer be a puppet for your most powerful impulses. Think of the impulse for validation, that deep craving for her to constantly reassure you of your worth. When this need goes unchecked, it turns you into an emotional weather vane, spinning with every change in her mood or praise. The temperate man sources his validation from within. His sense of worth is built on his own actions and character, making his emotional state steady and predictable. Then there is the impulse for sex, a powerful biological drive. Without temperance, this desire can warp into pressure, neediness, or resentment, poisoning the very intimacy you seek. The temperate man approaches physical intimacy not from a place of lack or demand, but from a place of shared connection and respect. He understands that true passion is an offering, not a taking, and perhaps the most common impulse in a disagreement, the desperate need to have the last word. This is the impulse to win, to be right, to prove your point even at the cost of her feelings and the peace between you. In that heated moment, the desire to fire back a clever retort can feel overwhelming. But temperance is the quiet voice that says, stop. It is the conscious pause between the trigger and your reaction. It is the strength to swallow your pride, to listen fully, and to choose the resolution of the conflict over the petty victory of the argument. This self-possession is what makes you seem solid. You are not easily swayed by passing emotions or reactive impulses. She knows that when a difficult moment arrives, you will not fly off the handle or crumble under pressure. Your responses are measured, your actions are considered. This is the dependability that allows her to feel truly safe. Your temperance creates a harbor of calm in a world of chaos, and that is the foundation upon which unshakable trust is built. Your ability to pause before reacting is the very essence of inner strength. But what if you could build that strength not in the moment of crisis, but in the quiet moments before it ever arrives? This is the power of negative visualization, a Stoic exercise that sounds counterintuitive but delivers profound peace. It is the deliberate practice of mentally rehearsing life's potential difficulties, not to become pessimistic but to become prepared. Think of it as an emotional vaccination. You inject a small, controlled dose of a challenging thought to build up your immunity to the real thing. For instance, before she arrives for your date, take a moment. Visualize her being significantly late. See the clock ticking, feel the initial flicker of impatience rise in your chest, but then, in your mind, rehearse your ideal response. You do not text her with angry questions. Instead, you use the unexpected time to read a chapter of a book, or simply to sit and observe the world around you with calm acceptance. You have already lived through the scenario and chosen your virtue. When it actually happens, you are not caught off guard. You are prepared. You greet her not with frustration, but with a calm understanding that things sometimes happen. This practice extends to larger fears as well. Allow yourself to briefly contemplate the possibility of the relationship ending. This is not an invitation for anxiety, but a stark reminder to appreciate what you have right now. By consciously facing the potential of loss, you shatter the illusion of permanence. You look at her across the dinner table and truly see her, not as someone who will always be there, but as a precious, temporary gift. This realization transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. Your appreciation deepens, your patience expands, and your need to control every outcome diminishes. You are no longer living in fear of what might go wrong. You are living in gratitude for what is, precisely because you have courageously acknowledged that it might not always be. This practice ensures you are never truly blindsided by life, because you have already walked the difficult paths in your mind and found your way through with character intact. Your mind is quick to label her actions as right or wrong. This habit of judgment is the source of most of your relational pain. A Stoic principle shifts this entire dynamic, urging you to judge less and understand more. Remember, we suffer not from events themselves, but from the judgments we attach to them. She makes a comment that stings, and your immediate, unconscious mind slaps a label on it. She is being unfair, she is attacking me, she does not care. This judgment is the first domino to fall, triggering a cascade of defensiveness, anger, or withdrawal. The conflict is not in her words, but in your interpretation of them. Your first and most powerful Stoic move is to pause that automatic labeling process. Instead of asking, "Why is she wrong?" you train yourself to ask a different question. What is her perspective here? What might she be feeling that I am not seeing? This single shift in focus transforms you from an adversary in a courtroom to a partner in a detective story, where the mystery is not who is to blame, but what is truly happening. Imagine she criticizes how you handled a social situation. The judgmental reaction is to feel insulted, to defend your actions, to list the reasons she is mistaken. This creates a battlefield. The understanding reaction is to take a breath and get curious. You might say, "It sounds like that really bothered you. Help me see it from your side." This does not mean you automatically agree with her. It means you are prioritizing the connection over being correct. You are gathering data before forming a verdict. This approach is a superpower for de-escalation. It disarms the tension because you are no longer fighting against her. You are listening to her. It positions you as a thoughtful, empathetic partner who values her inner world enough to explore it. By suspending your judgment, you create a space where real communication can flourish, a space where she feels heard and you gain a clearer, more complete picture of the truth. This is how you stop reacting to the stories you tell yourself and start responding to the person in front of you. Your deepest strength lies in releasing the need for a specific result. This is the essence of the 13th principle. Your duty is to act right, not control outcomes. The Stoics draw a bright, clear line between your responsibilities and everything else. Your responsibility, your sacred duty, is to show up as the best partner you can be. This means acting with honesty, offering unwavering support, and communicating with kindness. It is about the integrity of your own effort. What lies firmly outside your control is how she receives that effort. You cannot force her to feel grateful for your actions. You cannot guarantee that she will always stay or that she will always be happy. Trying to control these outcomes is like a farmer standing in his field, desperately trying to command the rain to fall and the sun to shine. He will exhaust himself in a futile struggle. His true job is to till the soil, plant the seeds, and pull the weeds. The harvest is not his to command. It is the result of a million factors beyond his control. Your relationship is the same. Your job is to till the soil with your character, to plant the seeds of your virtuous actions. The harvest, her response, her feelings, her commitment, is not yours to command. When you internalize this, a profound shift occurs. The neediness evaporates. You stop performing kindness in the hopes of receiving praise or affection in return. You are kind because kindness is who you are. You stop having difficult conversations with the goal of forcing her to agree with you, and you start having them with the goal of expressing your truth with clarity and respect. This detachment from the outcome is the opposite of indifference. It is the highest form of focus. It allows you to pour your entire energy into the one thing you truly own, your own conduct. And this focused, virtuous action, free from the sticky desperation for a particular result, carries a magnetic quality. It is the confidence of a man who knows his worth is not determined by another's reaction. He acts from a full cup, not an empty one begging to be filled. This is the rock-solid presence that does not waver based on the day's emotional weather, the very foundation of a trust that runs deep. Your inner world is a fortress, and its walls are built from your daily judgments. This is your inner citadel, the final sanctuary of your peace and your character. Everything outside those walls, from her sharp words in an argument to the opinions of friends and family, is nothing more than an external event. These events are like arrows shot toward your fortress. They fly through the air, but they possess no power to harm you on their own. The only way an arrow can wound you is if you personally open the gate and bring it inside, if you accept the judgment it carries as your own truth. When she says something critical out of frustration, that comment is an arrow. You have a choice in that very moment. You can swing the gates wide open, welcome the criticism in, and let it ricochet around your mind, feeding a story of inadequacy or anger. Or you can let it strike the outer wall and fall harmlessly to the ground. You observe it, you may even learn from it, but you refuse to let it dictate your inner state. This is not about building walls against her, but about fortifying your core self so that you can engage with the world from a place of unshakable strength. Every principle we have discussed is a stone in that defensive wall. The dichotomy of control teaches you what is outside the walls and what is your sacred space within. Amor fati strengthens the foundations, making you grateful for the very arrows that test your defenses. Memento mori reinforces the gates, reminding you that your time is too precious to waste on every stray projectile. Your daily practice is the maintenance of this citadel. Each time you pause before reacting, you are adding another layer of stone. Each time you choose understanding over judgment, you are reinforcing the battlements. When you act with virtue regardless of the outcome, you are fortifying the keep itself. This is how you become a rock. It is not by being hard and unfeeling on the outside, but by having an inner core so well defended that no external storm can ever breach your peace. Your words are a blueprint, but your actions are the building itself. The Stoics held a profound disdain for anyone who could eloquently discuss virtue yet failed to live it. True philosophy is not a topic for clever debate. It is a relentless commitment to action. This is the principle that transforms you from a man who talks a good game into the man who is the game, the reliable force she can count on without a shadow of a doubt. It begins with the simplest of things, your promises. When you tell her you will handle a chore, that you will pick up the groceries or make a phone call, your integrity is on the line. The man of empty words finds excuses, he forgets, he assumes it is not a big deal. The Stoic man of action understands that every kept promise, no matter how small, is a brick laid in the foundation of her trust. It is a silent message that says, "My word is my bond." Your character is not declared in grand speeches, it is proven in these quiet, consistent follow-throughs. Then there is the initiative you take in the relationship itself. Do you wait for her to plan every date, to carry the entire mental load of your shared social life? The man of action steps forward. He does not ask, "What do you want to do this weekend?" presenting her with the work of deciding. He says, "I have made reservations for us on Friday," or "I found a new trail I would love to explore with you on Saturday." This is not about control, it is about contribution. It is the active effort to cultivate shared joy and adventure, demonstrating that you are an invested architect of your life together, not just a passive resident. This extends directly into the shared space of your home. Seeing a sink full of dishes and walking past them because it is not your turn is the mindset of a boy. The man of action sees a need and meets it. He does not wait to be asked or assigned a task. He handles household responsibilities proactively because he is a partner, not an employee waiting for a directive. He lives by the understanding that a shared life means shared maintenance. This consistent, reliable action in these seemingly mundane areas creates an atmosphere of profound security. She never has to wonder if you will come through. She never has to nag or carry the anxiety of whether things will get done. Your actions have already answered that question. This is how you build a reputation, not as a man who says he is solid, but as a man whose very presence feels like an unshakable reality. Negative visualization is a mental gym for your resilience, and like any workout, it requires a consistent routine. Begin by setting aside just 5 minutes each morning, perhaps right after you wake up or with your first cup of coffee. Find a quiet space where you will not be interrupted. Close your eyes and take 3 slow, deep breaths, grounding yourself in the present moment. Now, consciously bring to mind a specific aspect of your relationship that you deeply value. For this exercise, we will start with her presence. Picture your home, but see it without her in it. Visualize the silence in the room she usually fills with her energy. Feel the emptiness of the space next to you in bed or at the dinner table. Sit with that feeling of absence for a moment. Let the weight of that potential loss be real. This is not to create fear, but to shatter the illusion of permanence. Now, open your eyes, look around the actual room. If she is there, see her, hear her. Feel the profound shift as the imagined loss collides with the vibrant reality of her presence. The gratitude that floods in is not a vague feeling. It is a concrete recognition of a gift you had momentarily taken for granted. Your appreciation for the simple fact of her existence becomes immediate and intense. On another day, visualize a different scenario. Picture a serious disagreement, one where harsh words are spoken and a cold distance settles between you. Feel the sting of that conflict, the isolation. Then, in your mind, rehearse your ideal response. See yourself listening without interrupting, speaking your truth without accusation, and prioritizing the repair of the connection over winning the argument. You are not just imagining a problem, you are programming your future self with a virtuous reaction. After each session, always complete the exercise with a deliberate reframing. State to yourself, either silently or aloud, I am grateful for what I have right now. I am prepared to face challenges with character. This transforms the practice from a morbid dive into worst-case scenarios into a powerful ritual that builds immense gratitude and emotional preparedness. You are not dwelling on what you could lose. You are actively strengthening your appreciation for what you have, ensuring you never take it for granted and that you are always ready to be the steady partner it deserves. That space between her words and your reaction is your arena of power. Your ability to suspend judgment is not a passive state. It is an active skill you can master with a single, deliberate technique. It is called the pause. When a triggering event occurs, when she says something that immediately tightens your chest or heats your face, your first and most critical move is to do nothing at all. You must physically pause, stop the conversation for a moment. If you are standing, you might take a single step back. You take one slow, deep breath, feeling the air fill your lungs and then leave your body. This is not a dramatic gesture, it is a physiological reset. It breaks the automatic chain where her action leads directly to your unthinking reaction. In that sacred space of the pause, you ask yourself 3 purposeful questions. First, you must identify the story you are already telling yourself. What is my judgment here? Be brutally honest. Is it, she is being unfair, she is trying to control me, she does not respect my time? You drag the unconscious judgment into the light of your conscious mind. The second question challenges that story's absolute truth. Is it absolutely true? Can you know with 100% certainty that her intention was to be disrespectful or controlling? The honest answer is almost always no. You cannot see into her mind. You are interpreting her actions through the lens of your own insecurities and past experiences. The final question is where you reclaim your power and rebuild the connection. What is a more charitable or understanding interpretation? This is where you actively choose a better story. Perhaps she is stressed about a work deadline and her tone was a reflection of that, not a judgment of you. Maybe she forgot to call because her day became unexpectedly chaotic, not because she does not care. You are not excusing poor behavior, you are simply opening the door to other possibilities beyond the one that paints you as the victim. By practicing this pause, you shift from being a reactor to being a responder. You create a gap where your character can step in, a gap where wisdom can speak instead of raw emotion. This is how you de-escalate conflicts before they even begin, transforming potential battles into moments of profound understanding. Your relationship duty is not a vague ideal, it is a concrete set of vows you write for yourself. This is your personal constitution, the internal compass that guides your actions regardless of the emotional weather around you. Let us define your Stoic relationship duty right now. Take a moment, either mentally or with a pen and paper, to answer this question. What does it mean for me to be a good partner based solely on my own character and choices? Your list should be built from actions that are entirely within your control. It cannot include things like, I will make her happy because her happiness is ultimately her own to command. Instead, your vows must focus on your own conduct. Your first vow might be, I will always communicate with honesty, even when it is difficult. This is your commitment to speaking your truth with kindness, not to manipulating an outcome. Another could be, I will support her goals and growth unconditionally. This means you champion her ambitions even when they do not directly benefit you, because her flourishing is part of your shared good. A third vow could be, I will take full responsibility for my own emotional state. This is your promise to never blame her for your feelings of anger, insecurity, or frustration. You own your inner world and manage it with discipline. Perhaps you vow, I will always assume good intent unless proven otherwise. This single commitment alone will dismantle countless conflicts before they even begin. And a final, powerful vow could be, I will show up with my full presence, putting aside distractions to truly listen and connect. This is your duty to the quality of your shared time. This list is your personal code. It is the unwavering standard you hold for yourself, not a scorecard you use to judge her. When a difficult moment arrives, you do not ask, what did she do wrong? You ask, which of my vows applies here? Her mood is sour. Your vow to take responsibility for your own state reminds you not to absorb her negativity. She shares a dream that seems risky. Your vow of unconditional support kicks in, and you become her ally, not her critic. This is how you build a life where your actions are consistent, predictable, and rooted in virtue. You are no longer reacting, you are living by a code. Your inner citadel is a living structure, and like any fortress, it needs active, daily defense. Beyond the simple pause, you can build stronger walls with deliberate mental disciplines. The first is the creation of a personal mantra, a short phrase drawn from Stoic wisdom that you can repeat to yourself when the world feels chaotic. This is not a vague affirmation, but a precise tool to reset your perspective. When you feel a wave of anger or anxiety, you do not fight the feeling directly. You introduce a new thought. A powerful mantra could be, I am disturbed not by things, but by my views about them. Or, this too shall pass, or simply, virtue is the only good. You choose the phrase that resonates most deeply with your current struggle, and you make it your mental armor. Repeat it silently when you feel the first prick of an external arrow. It is a conscious act of reclaiming your inner territory, reminding yourself that your peace is an internal condition, not an external reward. The second technique involves setting firm mental boundaries against the drama of the day. This is not about building walls against people, but about filtering the information that gets to your core. When a friend dumps their endless complaints on you, or you consume a news cycle filled with outrage, you have a choice. You can absorb that chaotic energy and let it become your own inner storm, or you can listen with compassion while consciously deciding, this is not my burden to carry. I can offer support without letting their crisis become my citadel's emergency. You visualize their drama as a storm happening outside your walls. You can observe it, you can even offer an umbrella, but you do not have to stand in the rain with them. This mental boundary preserves your energy and clarity, ensuring you have the resilience to be the stable partner your relationship needs. Finally, the most powerful tool for strengthening your defenses is the nightly review. Each evening before sleep, take just 5 minutes to look back on your day. Ask yourself 2 focused questions. Where did I let an arrow inside today? And how can I strengthen my walls tomorrow? Be honest and gentle with yourself. Perhaps you let in an arrow when she criticized your driving and you reacted with sharp defensiveness. You acknowledge that you opened the gate to that judgment and felt the sting. Then you plan for tomorrow. You decide, next time a comment feels like a personal attack, I will use my pause, take a breath, and remember it is likely not about me. This is not self-criticism, it is strategic analysis. You are the general of your own mind, studying today's battles to better defend your peace tomorrow. This consistent practice of mantra, boundary setting, and nightly review transforms your inner citadel from a concept into an impregnable fortress, a place of unwavering calm from which you can love and lead without ever losing your center. Your reputation as a reliable partner is not built in a single dramatic moment. It is constructed brick by brick through the small, consistent actions you choose every single day. This is the compound interest of character, where tiny, dependable deeds accumulate into a fortune of trust. Think of the man who plans an extravagant anniversary dinner once a year, but on a regular Tuesday, he is too distracted to listen to her story about her day. His grand gesture is like a sudden, loud firework. It is impressive for a moment, but it leaves behind only darkness and smoke. Now, consider the man who, without being asked, makes her a cup of coffee each morning just the way she likes it. He puts his phone away when she speaks, giving her his full attention. When a small crisis hits, like a flat tire or a spilled drink, he responds not with panic or blame, but with a calm, problem-solving focus. These actions are not fireworks, they are the steady, warm glow of a hearth fire. They are not loud, but they provide constant, essential warmth. The flashy, inconsistent behavior creates a roller coaster of uncertainty. She never knows which version of him she will get. Is it the charming, generous prince today, or the self-absorbed, irritable stranger? This unpredictability is the enemy of feeling safe. Your daily reliability, on the other hand, creates an atmosphere of profound security. She knows with absolute certainty that you will handle the minor stresses of life with grace. She knows you will show up not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. That knowing is the bedrock of everything. It is why she can relax into the relationship, not because every day is perfect, but because your response to imperfection is predictably steady. This is how you become the rock. It is not through one Herculean effort, but through 1,000 small, consistent choices that whisper, day after day, you are safe with me. Your confidence cannot be a gift she gives you each morning. It must be a fire you build and tend to yourself. This is the profound shift to internal validation, the Stoic understanding that your worth is not a reflection in her eyes, but a quality you forge through your own actions. When your sense of self hinges on her praise, her attention, or her affection, you hand her the keys to your emotional state. You become a puppet, and she holds the strings without even knowing it. A good mood from her sends you soaring. A distracted day on her part sends you into a spiral of doubt. This is the very definition of neediness, a constant, quiet desperation for external proof that you are enough. The Stoic path offers a radical alternative. Your worth is determined by one thing alone: your commitment to living virtuously. Did you act with integrity today? Did you face a challenge with courage? Were you fair and kind in your dealings? These are the questions that matter. When you anchor your self-esteem to this internal report card, a transformation occurs. You no longer need to fish for compliments or manipulate situations to feel her approval. You know your own value because you are the one creating it moment by moment through your choices. This is not arrogance, it is the quiet, unshakable confidence of a man who has looked at his own character and found it solid. Her mood becomes what it always was: external weather. It may be a sunny day or a stormy one, but your inner climate remains steady. You can enjoy her praise when it comes, but you do not need it to survive. You can feel the sting of her criticism, but it does not define you. This self-contained strength is the ultimate freedom. It allows you to love her not from a place of lack, but from a place of abundance, because your cup is already full. You become a partner who adds to her life, not one who drains her energy to fill his own emptiness. This is the man who is truly confident, not because he is loved, but because he is living in a way that is worthy of love, most importantly from himself. Your happiness is not a fragile object that shatters the moment life becomes uncomfortable. There is a Stoic practice designed to prove this to you, a form of mental and physical training called voluntary discomfort. This is the deliberate choice to embrace small, manageable hardships in your daily life. You might choose to take a cold shower instead of a hot one. You could skip a meal and feel the genuine pangs of hunger, knowing you are in no real danger. Perhaps you walk to the store instead of driving, feeling the weather on your skin. These actions seem insignificant, even strange, but they are a powerful form of inoculation. You are giving yourself a controlled dose of hardship to build up immunity against the real disease, the fear of discomfort and loss that can poison your relationship. When you voluntarily step into a cold shower, you are not just shocking your body. You are having a conversation with your own mind. The initial impulse is to leap out, to seek immediate relief from the unpleasant sensation. But when you choose to stay, to breathe through the discomfort, you are sending a profound message to yourself. You are proving in a small, concrete way that you can handle difficulty. You are tougher than that initial impulse believes. This self-knowledge becomes a shield in your relationship. A disagreement arises, and the old fear of emotional discomfort flares up. The reactive man wants to flee the tension or immediately smooth it over, sacrificing his own truth for a false sense of comfort. But the man who practices voluntary discomfort has a different response. He has faced physical unease and mastered it. The emotional chill of an argument does not terrify him in the same way. He knows he can endure it, that he can stand firm in that uncomfortable space without crumbling. He understands that his happiness and stability do not depend on a perfectly harmonious moment. He can engage with the conflict from a place of strength, not fear, because he has already proven to himself that he can survive and even thrive in conditions that are less than ideal. This practice severs the unconscious link between your well-being and perfect circumstances. It teaches you that your core peace is independent of a hot shower, a full stomach, or a partner who always agrees with you. You become a man who is comfortable with being uncomfortable, and that is the kind of unshakable strength that allows a relationship to breathe, to have necessary conflicts, and to grow stronger through them, not in spite of them. A setback in your relationship is not a sign of failure. It is a training session designed specifically for you. This is the principle that reframes every challenge from a problem to be solved into a workout for your character. Life, in its wisdom, is not trying to break you with these moments. It is trying to build you. A disagreement is not a crack in your foundation. It is your daily drill in courage and communication. It is the heavy weight you lift to strengthen your ability to speak your truth calmly and to listen with genuine curiosity. When you feel the heat of frustration rising, that is your signal to engage your training, to practice the pause, to choose understanding over winning. This shift in perspective transforms the entire experience from a threat into an opportunity. You are not being attacked, you are being coached. Similarly, a period of silence or distance is not a void to be feared. It is your training session in patience and self-sufficiency. It is the endurance run for your emotional independence. In that quiet space, you have the chance to prove to yourself that your peace and your worth are not dependent on constant external validation. You learn to be comfortably alone with your own thoughts, to find contentment from within. This is how you build the resilience that makes you a complete person, not just one half of a couple. A financial strain becomes a training exercise in creativity and teamwork. A moment of her doubt becomes your drill in offering unwavering support. When you adopt this mindset, you stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance and start seeing yourself as an athlete in the gym of life. You welcome the difficult sets because you know they are what make you stronger. Every challenge, no matter how small, is another rep. Every obstacle is another piece of equipment designed to build a more resilient, more virtuous, and more unshakable you. This is how you stop resisting the friction of life and start using it to polish your character to a brilliant, enduring shine. Your current argument feels like the center of the universe, a massive storm consuming all the air and light. But there is a powerful Stoic exercise that pulls you out of that storm and into the quiet of space. It is called the view from above. Close your eyes for a moment and begin to rise. First, you see the room you are in from the ceiling, two people caught in a small drama. Now, pull back further. See your entire home as a tiny box, then your neighborhood as a collection of streets. Keep rising. Your city becomes a faint grid of lights, then your country a shape on the globe. The earth itself shrinks to a blue marble, floating in the immense blackness, a single planet orbiting an average star in one of billions of galaxies. Now, from that silent, cosmic vantage point, look back down at your problem. Where is that heated disagreement now? Can you even see it? This meditation is not about dismissing your feelings, but about granting them their proper, humble scale. The frustration you felt over a misunderstood text or a forgotten chore is real, but from 10,000 miles up, it is also incredibly small. This perspective is the ultimate antidote to self-importance. It drains the drama from the moment and reveals a profound truth. Your life and your relationship is a beautiful, fleeting speck in an unimaginably vast cosmos. This realization is not depressing, it is liberating. It forces a single, vital question. Given this breathtakingly brief and precious opportunity to exist and to love, is this minor grievance really where you want to invest your emotional energy? The view from above recalibrates your entire focus. It shifts your attention from winning a small battle to nurturing the grand, fragile miracle of your shared journey. It helps you let go of the need to be right and embrace the deeper need to be connected, to be kind, and to be present for the astonishing fact that you are here at all, together on this tiny, spinning rock in the silent void. Chaos is inevitable, but your contribution to it is a choice. We have journeyed through 24 principles, each a tool for building your inner fortress, and now they converge into this final, singular aim. Your ultimate goal is not to eliminate all storms from your relationship, but to become the one place where the weather is always calm. You become the harbor. This is the synthesis of everything you have learned. The dichotomy of control is your anchor, reminding you that her mood, the traffic, the unexpected bill, these are external events. They are the wind and the waves, your judgment of them, your emotional reaction, your chosen response. This is your ship. By refusing to be disturbed by things outside your command, you stop generating the secondary drama, the frantic splashing that only makes the situation worse. When she comes to you with a problem, you are no longer a second problem for her to manage. You are the steady ground, your practiced pause, your nightly review, your commitment to virtue. They have trained you for this moment. You listen without immediately reacting. You take a slow breath, creating that space where wisdom can speak. You ask clarifying questions, not accusatory ones. Your focus shifts from who is to blame to what we can do. This solutions-focused calm is not a lack of caring. It is the highest form of care because it is effective. It is the strength that says, "We can handle this." Your composed presence gives her permission to land, to exhale, to think clearly. In a world that constantly manufactures crisis, the man who does not is a rare and powerful force. He is the rock not because he is hard, but because he is still. He is the harbor not because he stops the storm, but because he provides a safe place within it. This is the final principle, the man you become when all the others are lived. You are no longer a source of the weather, you are the shelter. This journey through 25 principles is a map to your own unshakable core. You have not been learning how to build a wall around your heart, but how to build a foundation beneath your feet. Becoming the rock in her life was never about suppressing your humanity or becoming a stoic statue of indifference. It is about the profound shift from being governed by the chaos outside to being guided by the virtue within. Your emotions are not the enemy, but your judgments about those emotions are the storm. True strength is found when you are no longer a leaf blown by every wind of her mood or circumstance, but the deeply rooted tree that provides shelter. You become predictable in your integrity, steady in your purpose, and calm in your presence because your inner world is ordered by reason and a commitment to what is good. This transformation is available to you right now, not as a distant ideal, but as a series of choices you make today. Do not feel you must master all 25 principles at once. That path leads to overwhelm. Instead, choose just one. Perhaps it is the daily practice of negative visualization to cultivate a fiercer gratitude. Maybe it is the conscious decision to pause before you react, creating that sacred space where your character can speak. Start with the principle that resonated most deeply, the one that felt like a key turning in a lock inside you. Practice it with deliberate focus for a week. Then add another. This is how you build the life you want, one solid stone of habit at a time. The man you become by practicing these principles will be the rock not only in her life but in your own. Share in the comments which principle resonated most with you.